So thanks for joining us again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the Oriental Blossom. We'll run through that a bit more quickly because we have already seen that done, but what I want to show you is the little bottles, which again is ideal for a masculine card if that's what you want, or even for mum if she likes to have a beer in the garden, whichever you would like. So what we're going to do is pop in the Oriental Blossom first. So like I said, we'll speed this up a little bit because we've already seen this one done. So just remember, curve facing inwards, stamp at the top and over stamp to create your little wreath. And then we're going to do the same at the bottom, all the way around and just over stamp. So this is giving it a much more natural appearance. So stamp at the other side, all the way around and then just over stamp. And then the same at the other side. And then it's just a case of joining these little branches together. All the way around, over stamp. And then what we're going to do, we're not going to flip the stamp this time. We're just going to join up these branches. So if you just place the stamp where it would look right, and then you're just going to go backwards and forwards and fill in that little gap. So if you just turn your card as you work, it's just going to make this much, much easier to do. And remember, this does not have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, because in nature it wouldn't be perfect anyway. So same here. And usually you're going to pop flowers and things on this as well. So by the time you've started to add in all your little bits and pieces, nobody would ever see if it was symmetrical or not. And like I said, nature is not absolutely perfect, so you want this to be quite natural looking. Okay, so there's our little wreath done. And now what we're going to do is add in our little hills like we've done before. And just dry baby wipe over my finger. I'm going to use a little bit of green for the hill. And then we can take this away and we can add in the other piece. So this has been cut from one piece of paper. So we've just cut straight through the middle. So we actually know that one piece masks out the other because it's been cut from the same sheet. So we're just going to add some sky. So let's use some yellow. So I know that I'm going to be stamping the little Wellington boots and all the bottles across here. So I don't want this to be too vibrant. So what I'm going to do is just add a bit more vibrancy in one side and then keep it paler towards the other side. Okay, and then what we're going to do is add a little bit of red. So let's pop that in there. So you can stop when you've got the colour that you like, but always make sure that you blend in on your scrap paper and then gradually take that into your cardstock. Now if you wanted to add, excuse me, the little clouds or the little balloons, then we can add a little bit of the grey. And for anybody who missed it the first time, I'll just show you very quickly. We've just taken off some of that colour and we're going straight onto the card. So remember, if you've got a new pigment ink that you're doing this with, just be extra careful because you don't want too much wetness on there. So take the excess ink off on the scrap of your paper here. Okay, so let's pop a little cloud in. And again, we need to remember to take some of this excess off. So just pop it on your paper and just uneven pressure will take off some of the ink. But it'll be patchy, which is exactly what I want. And I want it to look more like a watercolour cloud. So I don't want perfect edges to it. So I'm going to just pop that down, take some of those edges off. So uneven pressure and then just stamp that down. So again, you can stamp that 2 or 3 times and you get this lovely little watercolour effect going on there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to pop in is the wellies because these are probably one of the main parts of the card. So all over with one green. So I'm using my palest green first. And then what we're going to do is add in some darker green. So I'm just going to sort of catch around the edges, just like that. And then we're going to stamp these down. I'm going to take this away first. And then we're just going to stamp these down at one end here, like that. Okay, and just make sure you've pressed nice and evenly. And you can see you've got those sort of two-tone Wellington boots coming up there now as well. So we're going to do exactly the same thing with all of the little bottles from the last orders. So I'm going to use 2 greens. So I'm going to add a little bit of shadow to one side. Now you're probably going to want to second generation these as well. So stamp them once and then stamp them again. So just take them to the side of the Wellington boots there. And then what you can do before you ink up again, just try and stamp them out a couple more times so you get a nice paler bottle going off into the distance as well. So let's do a paler one. And we'll pop that one about there. So it looks like somebody's been having a really good old party out here. You've got quite a few bottles going on. Okay, so let's do a couple of brown ones. So let's do the taller one first. So I'm going to use my palest brown first, and then we're going to go over the side. And you'll notice if I'm doing shadow, I always tend to stick to the same side so that the light source looks like it's coming from the same place every time. So there we go, so there's a couple more. And then let's just do this last one. And we'll pop that in front. Okay, so let's go about there. And remember, they're all slightly transparent, so it doesn't matter if you can see the bottles behind the other bottles. So it's quite free and easy to do. So we have actually also got a little bottle opener in here. And you'll notice as well that all the little bottles are actually open at the top. So if you want to use something sort of like a white glitter or a dry white glue with glitter, it will actually look like your little bottles are foaming. So just in this top corner, what's left to do is just pop the little hot air balloon in. So let's just do that. And again, just add some shadow around one side and pop your little hot air balloon up there. And to finish off with this set as well, you have a little hops leaf. So we're just going to pop some hops in. So if I just work my way around here. So you can see in one of the first demonstrations that we did, we actually used this wreath to do a really nice garden scene. And this way we've made it a little bit more, well, a little bit different. So it just shows the versatility of the stamps and how you can change them to suit who it is that you're sending them to. Okay, so the little hop sleeve is just working all the way around, and you can actually have that dangling down as well if you want to. Okay, so just to finish off, we're going to pop a little bit of Glossy Accents just over the side here. So let's just go, you could do the whole bottle, but I don't like to use too much of this. So I will just highlight one side of the bottle, because if you put too much on, sometimes it's a little bit too much wetness for your card, so you don't want to be warping your cardstock. But always put a little bit on the Wellington boots toes, because it does kind of look like you've got a nice shiny welly without having to fill in the whole Wellington boot. Okay, so there we have it. So there's our Oriental Blossom with a nice little garden party scene going on in there. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching.